Coming to you from the other side.
It's the Hekate and Ticker Show.
Music, art, and culture to feed your head.
Challenge your perspective and bend your mind. All right, we are back, and we're here with Young LA, man. It is great to meet you. I've been seeing your flyers all over downstairs. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under pressure. Feeling good. Let's go. Feeling anxious. Feeling confident. When I'm on the spotlight, I be doing the most. I be on the spotlight when I'm feeling the most. Pressure in my body now, that's why I'm feeling. But I ain't gonna let it put me down, I'ma get it. Iced up, let it drip like the sweat on your neck. Turn to work and the diamonds under pressure is set. Going hard for everybody, time to show them what's next. Don't compare me to nobody, bitch, I'm getting a bag, I'm bad. Jump.
Really excited.
Yeah, you're a hell of a promoter. Only you just said that I realized what flyers you're talking about, because Steve was showing them off. He's like, yeah, it's Bruce Grimes, dude. I remember that. Yeah. You're that guy. Yeah.
That was awesome to see like that physical flyer too, instead of just a social media post. So like get in there and do that grunt work. So how long have you been at the music game?
It's been a climb, you know, like for the most part, it's one of those things that you gotta stay focused on it, but every single step has always gone so smooth, and it's kind of like the driving factor for me, you know, because one thing happens and it leads to the next. When you get to that next, that gives you that motivation for that next day. So it's it's filthy to see it, you know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you have a debut album that you just dropped, right?
Yep, in May.
Dude.
It's May 9th. This is my debut album called 2022, and 10 songs. And it's a piece of work for me because it was my first album. So it was my
first full album?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And so it was one of those things where I knew I wanted to have it come out, but at the same time I knew I wanted it to be different and something that's going to be the next level. So it's like when someone's thinking about the art that they do and you want to take it to that next level, that's kind of how that felt for that first debut album.
Awesome. Is there like a theme to it, or like kind of like a mood set to it? Or
2022.
Yeah.
It's like
quite a mood.
Yeah.
I think of it as like out of this world. It was like galactic.
Ooh.
Nice.
The whole cover for it and everything, like it was like a space view. Shout out Young Dove, he's the one that put me on the cover.
Hell yeah.
It's one of those, the theme of it's just out of this world.
That's really cool. I like that.
So you like space stuff. I love, like, you know.
Trippy.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that's a wild thing, man.
I love that. There's so much. I like to talk about stuff in space way more than the planet. There's so much going on. I'm so curious about, but everything here, it's like, yeah, I know. You know,
so what?
Yeah,
out of this world.
Whatever. It's a big rock.
You know, concept after your debut album too, because everything gets so stagnant, you know, and so it's like, dude, here's some fucking outer space to listen to, man.
Yeah,
and you
you got my album yet? Like, it's out of this world, you know. Yeah, you could easily say that. You got a show coming up in December, yeah? Here,
December 3rd, here at Bessel Tap House. I'm super excited for it. Because not only is it a charity event, so we're giving back to people for the holidays.
No, nice, man.
But
cool.
It's going to be my first headliner show.
Oh,
so
congrats, man.
Thank you.
That's some big shit.
Hell yeah. And I'm just like super like excited for the vibe and just to see the people come out and really just get lit.
Yeah.
Get lit. I love that. How long have you been playing music?
Playing music involved?
Well, yeah, just a musician. How long have you been a musician?
I was in sixth grade, you know, when I was starting to play saxophone.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And that went on for a little bit, and then I went into middle school. I did band in there too, so I was always playing instruments from like 6th grade to 8th grade, 7th grade. And
That's awesome.
I played French horn.
Nice.
It's like a small tuba.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah. I love French horn. It's got a very distinct sound, and I love it. We love classical instruments and stuff, so that's so cool.
I still have my alto saxophone. I turned it into a bong though.
Yeah.
But
you gotta turn it into a bong.
you have to. You have to. You know.
What inspired you? Like, so you've been doing it, but like, so I'm getting that you did some other stuff before you were a rap artist.
Yeah.
What converted you to rap?
You know, it was one of those. In the beginning, I always loved music in general. Like, even when it's like when you plug in your headphones and you're listening to a song, you're like, oh shit, like this hits in a certain spot where maybe a lot of other songs don't. Where you're like, well, every time I listen to this one specifically, or this album, it kind of puts me in the right place. And you're like, when something sits right, sometimes you just kind of have to follow that for a second and see what comes next. And when I was like, I really love how this music got me feeling. Like I just kind of I started writing my own little lyrics. Like I'd go on beats and just find some on YouTube, write it down. I got a lot of inspiration from other artists too. So like when you think about your favorite artists and you're like, damn, like I see so and so, or I see this artist just killing it. Like you kind of envision yourself doing like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that was also a really big driving factor. The music, it made me feel the artists that were behind it, putting great inspiration in me. And then eventually that's what kind of got me to start writing my own lyrics on just beats on YouTube. And then from there, that's when I started to actually compose lyrics, and I released my first song during high school.
Nice.
then-
Wow.
yeah.
Man, that's really cool.
It took a little bit of time, but once it started to kind of catch a little bit of a flow, and eventually I said, hey, I'm just release this.
Right.
That's kind of how things started to kick off. And then, when you do one thing and then you do it a couple times, so all of a sudden, you start to kind of catch the flow a little bit better. And you start to play with like the way that you want, like the emotion of a song. Like you're like, I want to try something like this time. Or if you're with other people and they're helping you put something together, then you start to really put this creativeness. And so it really just initially started from this love for music, and
Yeah, I
and
love
so,
that, man.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a solid rock to start from, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What are some of your do you have like specific topics that you really get into singing about?
I love writing about real life things.
Oh yeah, those are the best, and they're relatable.
I love writing about weed too.
Yeah.
I smoke
Oh.
weed, so it's like
Everyone
you,
loves that.
Yeah.
So you got to write a little bit about that. I write about the grind, about how really the daily grind just might be for somebody. It's like
Oh,
even if
yeah.
you're just trying to make it out 9 to 5, you're gonna go to work and grind it out. And so it's like at the end of the day, that's what you listen to.
Wage slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That opens up a huge demographic, that's for sure. So
Yeah, and it's
a lot
real
of people
too.
are feeling that shit.
This is real. Yes.
Yeah.
Making it every day.
Right?
Yeah.
So you had this album out for a little while. Are you having like any plans of touring in the future with it, or are you gonna save that for down the road a little more, keeping it local?
Definitely, yeah. If there's an opportunity where I can get to tour around, I would love to get out
Yeah?
there,
Nice.
go to different parts of the U.S. and go to different parts of the world. Just meet new places.
Do you have a DJ or is it just you?
There's a DJ that I work with right
Yeah.
now, but I'm always open to like we'll work with other DJs and stuff too.
Well, I'm asking because, like, in a metal band, like we're in metal bands, like touring is a lot of work because you have to make sure everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And you have to lug around like 5+ or like 3 people, but with you can just go, So I don't know if like the DJ was like, had to be there with you, but like you can also go anywhere potentially depending on how you set up your gig.
Yeah.
And you could be like, hey, I'm gonna be in LA or I'm gonna be in Vegas. Can you just like DJ for me? But,
Right.
like I feel like that gives you a lot of freedom to tour because it's just you.
It does.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great point.
and there's like at the end of the day, I got a team, and then they support me just as much, and
Gotta have a team.
you know what I mean, and then they do DJing for it. So it's like at the end of the day, finding that connection with people that you can work with is pretty important, because then when you can't work with certain people, it's just you got to find that right connection that really sits right.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But that's just really
know
what
what I'm
it's all
saying?
about. DJing is one of those things that it's like when somebody can do it and they got it down, they can lay it down. It keeps that confidence high up,
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
making sure the show goes on right and whatnot.
Aside from touring, do you got any like goals, ambitions that you're like, by this time I want to do this? Like for example, I've been wanting to play Pain in the Grass for a long time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And our sexy camera guy has already done it, ass. He's already been there, done that. But yeah, but but like that's like something I want to do here in Washington. Then like once I do that, I'm like, all right, next. In the next state. Like is there something like that you want to do? Like a big festival that you're like, I'm gonna play that one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely the festival's one of those things. And then number one song, it's like everybody wants to have that like number one song
Oh,
going on
of
right
course.
there.
Charts, like I'm on the top.
Be on the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not be quite worried about it. You know, at the end of the day, it's like be creative with the art and then kind of let it do its job. But eventually, it's like, you know, you would love to see that. You know, your song on number one,
Of
and
course, yeah.
I think for any artist, I mean, they might have some way to relate about that.
You know,
Oh yeah. I would definitely want my band's shit number one.
You know what I mean?
100%. You know, yeah.
and people really do know. I don't know like how to, break it down mathematically, but like people do know when you write a song that doesn't really like. So like I've written some songs I experimented where I wrote something that I thought was just like I'm gonna do it because it sounds cool, and like people only appreciate it that far. Like it's somehow they know that I didn't write it with like purpose. But then the songs I wrote with purpose that I feel like don't hit as hard, they like them more because it's real. Like it's like I don't know, like you do things differently when it comes from the heart, and I feel like people know that. So I went through that phase, and I realized that now I gotta always write on purpose because I feel like if you want to hit those top charts, I feel like people love the songs where it's like they can feel it. And man, are they smart, you know?
It's mass.
I definitely think that you know that from the heart to the pen and pad or to the notes and when you're laying it down is super like impactful because people can write songs in many different ways. I feel like, you know, you can write something just for fun, you know, just like a yeah, it can be from really deep from within, but it also could just be like something that you don't really kind of you just try to, you know, put something jotted out down and see how it goes kind of thing.
Yeah.
But those deep ones can definitely hit, you know, because it can relate to all those people that, you know, that you're trying to what you got going on and what the theme of it is and what the idea of it. People can relate to that, and so I definitely think that from the heart, it always just kind of hits different than from when it doesn't.
Right.
Even though sometimes it really demonstrates the opposite. Like you can see a song where it tops charts, but you're like, is that from the heart or is it just kind of something that was for fun put together?
That's true too.
Yeah, it's almost like there's some songs, there's like a formula about them, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to write about a breakup, or I'm going to write about like
Taylor Swift.
love, yeah. I'm going to write about a party. And it's like, I know any of those are going to be a hit, you know, but it's like, where is that passion? Where is like the real artist in there, you know?
Yeah, those are like things. It's like
Yeah,
like,
it's like
you can write about a
formula
breakup.
that works.
Yeah.
It totally works, you know, but it's like,
Yeah.
how much do you really want to invest and appreciate in your art? You know, do you want to just sell out, make money, or do you really want to convey that message, you know, to people?
Honestly, my favorite artist is Rob Zombie, and as much as I love him, I have to admit I don't know what the hell he's singing about half the time. But like he's and you're just like, yeah. You know, but like he has a rhythm to it. Like so like I resonate with, music a lot. So I'm not really paying attention even though I'm a vocalist. I'm listening to that guitar. Like Hekate loves guitar too. As a vocalist, guitar sounds cool. So like he's got a groove. So I love Rob for the music I'm listening to, not necessarily what he's saying, but like
Right. Yeah.
but so it's true that you don't have to really sing from the heart to do it, but you get that audience. But like I think it's good too. Like I feel like if I was to prefer something, like if someone told me, yeah, I'm writing from this pain I went through, and you learn about the story, you're like, whoa, that's awesome. But then you hear like someone be like, yeah, I just wrote about cars because cars. You're like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it.
I mean, you gotta love cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Nothing
we all
right about it.
love cars, but yeah, Attila does that. Attila Franz writes about cars a lot, but it's like cool. Yeah.
Somebody will do it though. Somebody will find a way to make that deep from him too. You know, it's like it might be some really basic, but to somebody it might mean something, and maybe people
Yeah.
might relate to that.
Yeah, I feel like those are all out there.
Yeah.
That those combinations are out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million and one different things that you can really like touch on with people, especially these days with all like the crazy social issues. Like, I mean, it's really like your pick,
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like a moment where it's like something amazing happened in this car, and it's like I have to have you ever had that spark where you're like I have to sing about this, like you're like, oh my god, like you lived it, you did it, and you're like I am writing a song about this. It's got to be like that with a car. Like there's got to be some rad moment, in a car, like.
Or it's got to be a rad fucking car, like a Lamborghini or some shit.
Yeah, because you're riding it.
It's about my Honda Civic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like for example, I could sing about all the shit cars I've had. Like I've had so many. Like Adam Sandler has that piece of shit car song, and I'm like, I know this song. Yeah.
Relate to it.
Yeah.
car song.
Yeah, but I feel like he's singing that for fun, but somewhere in there, I think he lived it because the way he's talking about a piece of
Knew
shit.
someone like you.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to top up on? Where can people find you? Or like,
Yeah, you guys can anybody could find me on like younglaofficial.com. That's my
Nice.
website. But you can also find me like on Instagram on younglaofficial, Young Rich Flavor on Facebook, and on Twitter also Young LA Music. So I'm always like just posting stuff, and keeping people updated on the next upcoming shows. So yeah, looking forward
wait
to
a,
that.
wait a minute. So everything is very Young LA, Young LA. But Facebook is Young Rich Flavor.
Yeah, it was
Tell
one
me
of those
about
things where
that.
I had to get that dialed in, but the other one was already taken where I wanted it. So I was like, I don't think
Oh, so that was a name before Young LA?
Young Rich Flavor's my brand. So
Oh, okay.
T-shirt on.
Oh, why the hell did we
Did
talk
we
about
get
that? Yeah.
side or
Yeah, so they're gonna be
Nice.
coming to my website here really soon. I'm still working on everything, getting
sick?
all the merchandise. But Young Rich Flavor is my movement. What it means is finding the inner traits that make you who you are. So it's like, what is your Young Rich Flavor? What is it that makes you who you are?
You taste like.
Yeah,
Daniels and cigarettes.
it might it's like sweet or the most sour flavor you could think of.
Yeah,
Joel.
dude.
You know, it can be,
Sour.
but that's yours. You know.
I love that. That's
Hell yeah,
that's
man.
that's smart branding. I feel. I like that. You get a shot of that too.
Sick.
What is that? Like a cool like paint slip? Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Man, I'm such
I
a
love
nerd.
it.
I my brain's like Super Mario Sunshine. But anyways,
I'm super excited though for it's gonna be like hoodies, anything you can think of, and then we're gonna slowly start branching out into other stuff too.
That's sick. That's really sick.
realize that as we're doing this, we're progressing, and we open a film studio. We should have a spot for like band merchandise and like a spot
Yeah, it'd be really
corner like for all the band merchandise. Cause we got a lot of cool stuff that we can do in there. So, anyways,
It'd be dope.
well, hey, Young LA, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You know where to find us.
Yeah. And now we know where to find you.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
And with another great night here on the other side.
We thank you, and we will see you next time.
Until then, stay thirsty, my friends.